Hey guys, welcome back to long-awaited next episode thing of the show where we talk about movies in cars.
Too real.
Much real. How do you do R in sign language, whatever?
Like that. Come on, dude.
Really?
Just threw my hand up.
Fool me. We're here to watch Ghostbusters.
You told me we were playing Pokemon Go.
Honestly, well, we're playing it right now.
Pokemon Ghostbusters? I ain't afraid of no Ghastly.
You made me angry. No. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to see this movie.
I knew I was going to see this movie.
But I
wasn't
feel like
sure how
I
I was
have
going to feel
to.
about it.
Well, I didn't think I was going to pay to see this movie. I thought I was just going to download it or something and go, oh, well, I didn't pay for it at least. But I was curious. Morbidly curious.
I'm trying to go in with an open mind.
You have to. Or you're going to have a bad time anyway.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
I was concerned when I saw the U.S. trailer. Mm-hmm. I saw the U.K. trailer, and I wished that the U.S. trailer had been that one. Wasn't totally pleased with what I saw, but it was cut better.
Yeah.
So
but again, like
I'm trying not to let that bias. I know. Trailers are terrible, but I'm trying not to let that bias get to me.
So I guess we should at least touch on, like, oh my God, it's an all-female cast, and I don't give a shit.
Why? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's a movie.
So let's just say that we talked about it, and it doesn't matter.
We did it. Like, there was a lot of hate for that.
I didn't actually experience any hate or see any hate. I think it was all manufactured by fucking Sony or some shit.
I definitely saw people I saw people being dumb about it.
Really?
It wasn't but
I felt like it was in the small
You
minority.
don't social media.
Yeah, I don't social media. For that fucking reason.
For as much as you post things on Facebook and Twitter,
I post funny pictures that make you laugh.
And everything else.
That's what it should be for.
Social media. And you should be happy that you don't, because it's an awful, awful
dirty,
place
dark
out there.
place.
It is. Very dirty.
What best possible, like, what's the best possible, like come out of this movie? Like,
the best possible is that it's better than mediocre. Because...
yeah, a mediocre.
Actually, I know that's the best, but it would be the worst. Like, if I'm just sitting there bored and it's just lame, that's going to be terrible. Like, if it's a real shit show,
I kind of want it to be balls to the wall shit.
It might be entertaining.
You know,
like,
just
if it's
in that entertaining.
If it's our cultures, or our you know, what the fuck ever I'm trying to say. No, that's too on the nose.
My generation?
That's too on the nose. That's the correct word.
Hey.
Fuck you for knowing it. Maybe this is... Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I want to go in with an open mind, but it's so hard to, because I've invested, like, decades of my life to Ghostbusters.
He really has.
I love Ghostbusters.
He really, really has.
It's so good.
He has a little.
He
has a Slimer onesie that he sleeps in.
It's true.
It's pretty awesome. Has a shit panel and everything, so he can just slime.
I want it to be good. It's not that I want it to suck. I don't want it to fail. But if it's gonna fail, I'd rather it fail spectacularly.
Right.
I don't want it to be middle of the road Hollywood wash bullshit. But I feel like that's what we might get. But
best outcome is that they try to preserve a little bit of the tone from the original movie,
at least part of the spirit.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
It really wasn't. Like, did not plan that at all. No, didn't talk about that before. Too spooky.
I ain't afraid no remakes.
I'm a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
I'm tired of a little remakes.
Me too.
But yeah, just, there's a reason why the first movie worked, and it was a lot of dry humor. It was deadpan lines.
The trailers
and
contained no dry wit at all.
So I'm hoping that they just kind of put in the goofy to get,
But, Ghostbusters 2 kind of pushed back on the dry wit and was a lot more slapsticky and a lot more silly. So, maybe they could reach for a Ghostbuster 2 feel or something. I don't know.
It could work. It could work. I need to see everything strung together to see if it will. So,
and I'm not excited about the cast, honestly, but
I don't know anything. I really don't know anything about them. I see them attached to things in the past,
of the cast, and the rest of the cast.
I really don't know, so I can't make any judgments on that. Yeah. So I will see from their acting whether I know, whether I like the cast
or the writing.
Well,
because you can't even with good acting sometimes
you can't transform bad writing. Like if the director doesn't let you, you can't transform shit. Like you can polish it, and it might look shiny, but I mean,
you can
still
actually
feces.
polish a turd.
That's what I said. You can make it look.
Mythbusters taught me that.
You can make it shiny, but it's still feces. Like
still
I'm not going
shit.
to wear it because it's shiny because it's still.
What if you like polished up a turd and then like put it in like next to some skee balls at a place where they play skee ball?
Well,
maybe like
an arcade or something.
An arcade, that's what they're called.
Those things exist.
Those things that used to be
considering
around.
that none of them are generally shit brown.
Dude, I've seen them shit brown.
Well, that's because people shit on the skee balls.
someone just replaced all of them with polished shit.
All right, so we're gonna go watch skee ball now.
We're gonna go watch polished shit. And we're
back
from Ghostbusters,
from the movie.
Honestly,
it was better than I expected.
It exceeded expectations. Not that it was like great,
right? But it wasn't trash. I think really the first act did suffer from a lot of.
It did kind of stretch.
Lots of jokes that fell more. Okay,
first of all, let's start with within the first 15 minutes. There's a queef joke.
I'm okay with that.
I don't. When I think about Ghostbusters, I don't think about farts or vagina farts.
That's fair. I mean, there were.
It took me off guard. I was like,
I mean, there was
fart joke, and then
like,
the fart joke turned into a queef joke, and I was like, this is.
Yeah, I think you're being a little critical there. That's
from a Ghostbusters movie that's never had a fart joke.
You like fart jokes.
I like fart jokes. That's not the point.
They did something. They did something different.
They put their apples in my oranges, man.
It was okay. Come on.
All I'm saying,
it was okay.
I said it took me aback. I didn't say it was necessarily bad in the long run. Just when I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck is a queef joke doing in my Ghostbusters? That was my initial like knee jerk reaction.
It was.
I was just like, what the fuck is that, man?
You looked at me, but I think you were overreacted to it.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't exactly expect to see a fart joke within the first 15 minutes of a Ghostbusters.
Did you expect in the last 15 minutes of a Ghostbusters movie?
If it was going to be somewhere, like, first 15 minutes, man, that's pretty brave and bold.
Wasn't the last 15 minutes kind of a fart joke?
I don't know. We'll talk about the third act when we get to the third act. But yeah, the first act, it wasn't terrible, but it did kind of drag.
I think that it was just choppy and just.
I thought it was okay though. I was fine with the first.
I would have liked a rewrite and
I've liked
maybe a recast.
Duh.
But really, not terrible.
Yeah,
not terrible.
Wait till we get to the third act to really tear this piece of shit apart. I guess the cast, they were okay. For the most part, they played their roles, I guess.
Well, I think that the women were all trying. They had a lot of jokes, and they all really pushed the jokes, and they all kind of sometimes felt like they were, like an eel, like bad joke eel, waiting for people to laugh at them. Like, I said a thing.
Yeah. No,
did you hear me say the thing?
It felt like it was written with just like breakneck joke speed, and like if you're not. Unless you're Robin Williams, you can't do that.
It's hard to do that.
You can't just relentlessly throw
That's
jokes
a really good
at
example,
man. Because
although I will have to say, when Chris Hemsworth came out at first,
yeah, dude, he was one of my favorite characters.
His rapid fire the first time was on point and great. Yeah. The second time, it was really flat.
Yeah, it did. It
was just kind of like, it's just that's a thing.
He was one of my favorite parts.
Well, he came back later and was okay. So, the first introduction, I will give it to him, was great, but then not so much. But everyone kind of split into their role and they did okay.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I thought were going to be in the movie because I had seen from trailers weren't. Yeah. And those are the lines that actually made me chuckle. So I felt a little disappointed. I'm not going to say it because I want people... If someone wants to see it, I don't want to spoil it for them.
Whisper in my ear, baby.
You know what it is.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. 10-second spoiler. Stop now.
Oh, the whole thing is spoilers. Fuck you, okay?
It's a Cadillac.
That was in the movie.
No, it wasn't. Nope.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't.
Well, I'm sorry you were that chuckle was stolen from you, my friend.
It's just the tension in that scene. I was like, she's going to say it. She's going to say it. She didn't say it. Because then that made that whole scene. That whole scene was not good.
I guess you liked that joke a lot more than me.
Well, it's not that I liked it that much. I laughed at it, but that whole scene where it didn't happen. Like, not that. Like, it was just, oh, you have a car now. Okay.
So
because all the other jokes were just,
what was Holtz's? What's the actor for Holtz?
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. She was.
I think she did the
hilarious.
best. I think she did the best job.
She was hilarious.
I wasn't sure at first. I didn't like her immediately. Immediately when she came out, I was like, "Oh man, this is."
But her like constant like little fourth wall like wink.
Yeah.
She's just always like.
I think that I actually.
She's always like tongue in cheek. Like it was endearing. By the end of the movie, I'm like, you're my favorite character.
She really was. She really was. Even stuff that was just over the top, like licking the pistol.
I didn't think because from the trailer, like I was just like, that looks dumb.
No, it was.
But within the context of that whole scene, I was like,
and her character.
Yeah, you got
to
know the character, and you're like, that's something that.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna
would do.
So, congrats to her.
And the little pistol. Proton pistols were actually really awesome.
Yeah, they were kind of cool.
I was pretty. I'm like,
it was kind of
proton
cool.
pistols. That sounds fucking dumb, son.
Yeah, right. And then it was like, oh no.
She's like,
yeah, I'm
like
double
lasso.
fisting.
I'm like, okay.
Pistols akimbo, really great. Yeah, lasso pistol, like.
But yeah,
everyone else. I mean, I didn't hate anyone in it. Leslie Jones did her part, and it was okay. I don't feel she overplayed it or anything.
She didn't overplay it. But
I think she did an okay job.
She had more of a presence than Ernie Hudson in the original. Sad to say.
Sadly, yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to compare.
I think Ernie Hudson had more presence in this film than he had in the original.
That's just mean.
It's not true. That's not true. It's not true. I think he had the biggest reaction though from the audience.
Well, that one guy, he's like, "Oh yeah!" So spoilers.
He looks good though.
There's like all the Ghostbusters really that are alive, of course.
Well, there was a cameo from all of them
except Rick Moranis.
Yeah, that's true. No, everyone who was in it except for Rick Moranis, and
he hasn't done anything in like forever, but. Yeah, everyone made a cameo, and they weren't ham-fisted. I was happy. I was worried that they were just going to be like, that's obviously Dan Aykroyd. Look at him. But it was just like he was just some random taxi cab guy.
Yeah, Bill Murray's is a little weird.
I kind of liked it because it was just like he was just like the asshole skeptic guy.
He was a jerk skeptic,
and then he just died. And then he just kill him off. That was pretty good.
I think I like Dan Aykroyd's. Dan Aykroyd's is really good. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver at the end.
That was
Stick
weird.
around for it because it was missing and then it was still there.
That was weird. That was a weird cameo.
It was, but I think we'll talk about that because that leads into.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should talk about the second act, which was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, it really
was.
The rolling of the snowball to like, they were getting
forming everything together.
That was really fun.
It was actually.
I actually like enjoyed it. I was like, this feels like Ghostbusters.
It wasn't bad there. Yeah.
It felt like Ghostbusters.
That was the part. That was the part where it started to stitch together a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, this is okay. This could come together into something.
The pacing for me, like in the first act, was what really broke it up because it was just there's nothing that strung anything together. It was just you were going to say they were going to do something and they did it, and that feels like it's supposed to be strung together, but it was literally like a child telling a story without flavor.
We could have got Batman versus Superman.
You know what? The movie was a lot better than Batman versus Superman.
Yes, it was. It was far superior.
I'm not sure if you took Superman out. I'm not sure where they would land. But in its entirety, in the version that we were given in the theaters, much better than Bats versus Soups. And you know how we felt about that. Yeah. And if you don't know how we felt about that, go watch that.
Watch it down below on the side.
We spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time making that.
A lot of time waiting to make it.
All right. Second act, good.
Yeah, I thought
second act made me actually be like, okay, I can deal with this.
I thought, watching the second act, I thought like I can get behind this as like a revamp of a franchise, maybe.
Yeah.
But then they caught up with the villain. Let's talk about the villain. We didn't even talk about the villain.
So that dude was weird, and not in like the weird. It's more kind of like
about him, man. Like it was just like angry misanthropic internet nerd.
He's an
you know what I mean?
He's an angsty janitor.
Yeah, he was just
he's an angsty.
You know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of all of the. It's just like a pissed off YouTube commenter or something. Just like might want to watch the world burn.
Yeah. You know, when you have a good villain who kind of fits that,
He wasn't it wasn't casted well.
I don't think. I'm probably not.
Like, it was just like,
but
you just look like some normal dude.
Yeah, and when you. When you cast a villain in this role, where it's just someone who's just been put down and let down by everyone else,
we're supposed to feel somewhat
sympathetic. You feel a little bad for him. You're like, man, if things had changed differently, this wouldn't have happened for him.
But there
was
nothing there.
He shouldn't do that, but I get it. No, I wanted to go and pants him and then give him a swirly. Or
maybe
something.
That's what they were going for, but
that doesn't make any sense.
It didn't feel right.
He wasn't evil enough to just be like, oh, he's the badass.
Yeah,
and he wasn't like pitiful enough to be the wow man.
He was just
down.
an internet commenter,
just a
insignificant, whiny little.
I
want to be king of the universe.
I'm gonna be king of the ghosts.
But yeah, like they catch up with him, and then he seemingly kills himself, and then the third act starts, and then the movie grinds to a freaking halt. For me,
There was a lot left to be desired to end the movie, and the final battle was kind of weird, although it had moments that were cool, but other moments that were
Let's talk about the final battle. Okay,
I mean, your pistols are in it.
That was awesome. But they changed the rules of ghostbusting in this movie. The rules are different now, because in the original Ghostbusters, you lasso it with the proton pack, and then you throw it in the trap. That's the only way you can handle a ghost. That's like you can't destroy a ghost.
Oh no, you can. You can destroy a ghost. Now.
I'm talking about the old canon, dude. Not this new canon, where apparently you could punch a ghost in the face with a proton fist and they'll explode, and then they'll just die again or something.
Well, they turn into plasma. Like, you don't know if they're totally dead or not.
That reinforces my point. They don't explain it. They just punch ghosts and they just fall on the ground and die.
Well, that's fair. I'm just saying you don't know if they're dead or not.
They fall on the ground.
They've destabilized the plasma. And
die. The same words, man. They're just synonyms. It doesn't make any sense. You can't punch a ghost to death. You can't punch a ghost to death.
With a proton glove, you might be able to.
Look, man, I know you're playing devil's advocate, but you're not helping.
I mean, that whole scene was kind of weird, and that's part of it. Jumps back to the choppiness, where it's just kind of like, oh no, here's another thing. Like, here's new weapons. Okay, now here's using new weapons. Okay, now here's this other thing, and it's like, slow down,
guys,
chill out.
But seriously, you can't punch a ghost to death. I'm sorry.
Can you vacuum them to death?
That's fucking stupid.
Can you vacuum them to death?
Sucking them and chopping them up into little ghost pieces? That doesn't make any sense, guys.
What about a shotgun?
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, you like the shotgun?
Yeah, I like the shotgun and I like the pistols because they're more traditional. Like it's harder for me to swallow a ghost wood chipper. It's just hard for me to like take seriously. Well, seriously, it's not the right word, but
I'm glad that the ghost bear trap that was from the previews was not actually used.
Me too.
It was kind of.
I was worried about it. I'm like,
they're just gonna be like, oh look, we've caught him by the leg. And,
that looks dumb.
And they didn't do that.
But I'm glad they saved that for the zinger
just
at
first,
the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, good.
Yes. What really did give us a good laugh was Slimer having. Having the.
I was like, John Belushi is here in spirit again.
Yeah.
Just driving down the road recklessly with another little onion head Slimer ghost.
She-Slimer. She-Slimer. I mean,
and
he was partying with some people, man, in the Ecto-1.
It was awesome.
I like the Ecto-1 as a hearse. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna hate on the Ecto-1. I thought that was cool.
It's perfect. It's the perfect mirror of the ambulance.
It's a hearse.
Yeah.
It's a hearse. Like,
are people whining about that or something?
I don't know, but I imagine
they shouldn't be because that's kind of awesome.
I liked the idea. I think it fit. The aesthetic was great. Yeah.
So, what do you think are the biggest flaws?
I had problems with the storytelling itself. Like, it's cut up into small little bite-sized pieces that are super simple to understand. Yeah. It was just kind of fed to you.
And a lot of those jokes in the first act fell really flat.
And the jokes in the first act fell really flat.
But it was always from the supporting like randos, like all like the NPC actors. You know, like the
very beginning. The very beginning.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, is this supposed to be funny?
Yeah, because it took me a second to realize that the very opening script had some references in there that were just supposed to be fake, like
they're not
anti-Irish.
Yeah, but they weren't good.
Or no, it was.
They weren't good jokes.
Like literally bad. Like, and not like bad endearing,
like bad taste,
like dad jokes or something. They were just stupid.
Yeah, they were not funny. That went off in a bad start.
That actually worried me when it started.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm like, oh, they're gonna start the movie like the first movie, where they're like, you know, a ghost is gonna come out, it's gonna be scary, and it was not good. It was a bad beginning.
Yeah, it did start off super rough.
But I'm glad it got better.
Much better than that. So if you are watching the film, you haven't seen it yet, you go and you watch, and you see the first few minutes, and you're like, please stop this. Just hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
It might get a little better.
It'll be better. It will be better. But yeah, it was just, I felt that, you know, with storytelling, you have to craft like a whole lot of things to get characterization in and the storyline itself. And if you just talk about something and then you cut to doing that thing, and then you talk about something else and you cut to doing that thing, there's no room to breathe.
Yeah, there's no point to showing and telling, and then showing
there's
and then telling. There's no point in doing that.
Right.
You either show or you tell. You don't do both. That just creates a really confusing thing.
I think that kind of is like the original movie, the spirit of that, you know, sure, it's got comedic parts to it, but it's not like a full-on comedy. No. And this treats it just kind of like a modern comedy right now, where it's just
very
like,
much
we're going to do silly things for 90 minutes, which it was longer than 90 minutes. Let's get that out there. I think the 210, I'm not sure.
Like 2.
Yeah, probably 2 because of credits.
With all
and
credits and stuff.
But
it was long. It was a long movie.
It was, but it didn't feel long either. I don't know,
man. Once that third act hit, I started losing. Yeah, I started losing interest fast. I was like, all right, so the guy's dead, and I thought the plot itself was good.
No, I like the story.
Yeah, I liked the plot and the story.
Yeah, I like the story,
but it was like patched together.
I don't like how it was written.
Yeah, it was not very well presented.
I like the story. I like the idea. There's a lot of elements in there that are very familiar to it, like, you know.
But they
people acknowledging
they changed enough. I liked the twist of the mayor kind of aspect of it. Like,
instead of kind of just like
they're like two-faced. They're like,
exactly.
thank you so much for saving. And then they like, I gotta go talk to this PR guys real quick.
Yeah, those guys are phonies.
Those guys are fucking morons.
Look at the phonies. These guys are phonies.
That was really fun. I like that.
That worked. Super bureaucratic.
And the mayor was really funny too.
Yeah, super bureaucratic. Oh yeah, he was great. He did a fabulous job.
Don't compare me to the Jaws mayor.
And his assistant too.
Yeah, she
did a good job.
She seems familiar.
I don't know. I have to look her up. She did a really good job of just playing that asshole.
That person, being that two-faced. Like that's her job, to be two-faced.
Yeah, it's like, thank you so much. You don't exist now.
You don't exist right now. It's my job. Sorry. Professional two-faced.
I like coming out of it. It took me a second to take everything in. I think I like it more now that I think back on it. So I'm okay.
You know what? I'm not saying it was good, but it was definitely okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy it's okay. I really thought it was just going to be like...
We do have to talk about one thing that we hadn't touched on yet.
What?
The end. And not like the end of the movie, but the ending credits.
Oh, the credits.
Holy shit.
The credits were...
So
I was like,
they spent so much money on the ending credits. Kudos to the video editor, the dance choreographers. Chris Hemsworth can get down.
I really loved.
Unless that was like a body double and really, really good editing for it. Chris Hemsworth can really get down. So I kind of think it was a stunt double. But holy!
I really loved how like the villain just like made everyone just.
Yeah.
And then like he didn't do anything with it at all. He's just like, and you think like, I'm just like, oh my god, they're gonna do a dance number. They're gonna do a dance number and it's gonna be fucking terrible and I know it. And I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah. And they didn't do it.
And it's funny because they kept showing them in the background just standing there.
Yeah. Like,
and then they get knocked into him like bowling pins.
Yeah, bowling pins knocking down and that was it.
It's pretty
was weird and you kind of forget about it and then the credits start and you see they actually did do a musical number.
They did film a musical number and then I guess they cut it out for good reason.
Unless they intended to do it for the ending. Which is a weird thing, but I'd like to know. Like, I really want to know. Like, did they shoot that just for the ending credits, or did they decide to axe it?
You watch that featurette.
Because if they did, want it and then axed it, it was a brilliant decision because the film did not need it.
No, it would have been bad for a lot of things.
Yeah, for a lot.
But it worked so well with the ending credits.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Which at that point, you really don't get imaginative credits anymore.
No, and this was great.
Like every once in a while, you used to, but.
The title credits came through, and then they did little zinger, like pre-zinger kind of, because it was just continuation, some extra stuff.
Zinger, then they had the post little zinger,
and then they did the rest of that, and there was just. It never went to a black screen. Like, it was not in traditional credits. Like,
which was refreshing.
You need to see
way.
it. Like, you really need to see that much. But and then they had the zinger, which probably let you down.
It did. The Zool really. I don't know. Like,
I mean,
reached for some new lore. Like, you guys are already treating this like a reboot. Like,
don't get me wrong. Hello.
Hey.
Was it this one? No.
Oh. No, those are fine.
So that's the sign that we've been talking too long, guys.
Never.
No, so I'm not sure that I want another movie out of it.
No, we're getting.
I know we're getting it. I'm not sure I want it. Like,
you know what? I'll take a sequel.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'll take a sequel.
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I'm gonna watch it. I would watch it regardless, but I wouldn't mind a sequel.
It's okay. Like I said, it was better than I thought it was.
I hope
Zool
okay was just like a wink.
Yeah, so the other movies,
in.
they're just gonna copy the movie.
I
hope it again.
I hope it's not a lead in.
Because this was their own thing. They did their own thing, but I mean, we didn't like.
They really did because I was
didn't
really
like the villain in this one though.
No, so. But I'm glad that it wasn't a remake, because it really wasn't a remake. Like, there really wasn't a lot of sharing. There was a lot of like mirroring of like plot threads and stuff, but like they
confronting the mayor, even though it was,
though
they agreed, they understood.
They kind of took a lot of the same like plot lines and they kind of twisted them a little bit, and it was different enough.
It felt
different enough that it wasn't like a remake. It was definitely a reboot.
Yeah.
If you want to differentiate those two,
it really did.
But it was. Give it a
thumb sideways, because I'm like, it was alright. It was alright. Like, I can't be like, oh, this is terrible, but it's alright. Better than Batman versus Superman.
That's gonna be like our litmus test,
right?
It's like, was it worse than that?
You had to downgrade Batman versus Superman after we talked about it.
You know, I want to watch the special edition, the 3-hour fucking one.
Why?
I don't know.
I've heard people say it explains things. Like, I don't need it to explain it.
Well, you know what I want to do? I want to get that complete version and then like just whittle it down to like an actual movie. Just edit it down to a movie.
Just cut Superman.
Just cut Superman out. Dude, you suck.
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond movie would be pretty rad.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Anyway, talking about Batman. What would you do to make, like, if you had full control of the script?
Less jokes.
Yeah,
less
definitely
jokes.
Streamlining of the jokes.
Less waiting for the jokes. There's a lot. You know what I really hated, like in the cinematography and the decisions for actually filming it. A lot of the back and forth with the discussion was face on camera, cut face on camera for the next line, cut face on camera for the next line, cut face on camera for the next line. And a lot of those jokes and a lot of those things are better when they're more deadpan than really waiting for it. So if someone just keeps talking in the background and saying those things, they actually would have been a lot funnier because they're not waiting for they're cut like Saturday Night Live jokes. That's what it is. They're cut like Saturday Night Live jokes, waiting for the laughs.
And all those people are from SNL.
Yeah, like at some point I think they've all been on there. I don't know because I don't watch Saturday Night Live,
but I know that
since
like
at some point some of these people have been apparently or something. So that's what it's like because it's written waiting for the laugh.
It feels like a really long sketch show.
Yeah,
like where it's just like, you know what? One joke that stuck out in terms of just like fall flat was whenever they got fired from when Abigail got fired from
the shitty school,
and the dean or whatever, like his little.
You know, I laughed a little bit at it.
But it went on for so long, dude.
It was really long. It was
like, okay, dude. It was okay. Really, middle finger jokes. It was middle finger jokes.
It was long enough for where I was like, okay, he did a middle finger joke, and then it went on. I was like, he's still doing a middle finger joke. So it made me be like, this is lame. It was like laughing. It's like, this is just stupid. And then I was like, okay, this is lame now because he's still going.
Yeah, it was not. It was. I was definitely worried when I saw that joke. I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah.
But then, thankfully, it showed promise. I just wish it would have wrapped up a little tighter at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was at the end. But yeah, I think that just in the beginning, there was a lot of jokes that didn't need to be in there, and they were just really trying to pull for that. We're funny, right, guys? Like, y'all are laughing at this, right? Please?
This is supposed to be a comedy. It's not, I mean, no, not necessarily. It's
Please
supposed to be
laugh.
like a, you know.
What would you do if you had full creative control?
Probably just that. I'd probably slow the jokes down. I'd probably film it differently. Like I would have different cinematography altogether.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's one thing that was really awkward.
Like, people are like, editing and cinematography has a lot to do with comedy timing just as much as writing does.
Right.
And I would change that. The first act I really didn't have much of a problem with, other than the joke timing and just the jokes in general.
Well, that's why.
But that third act, like, I swear, like, there needs to be some rewrites, because I was just like, what? Why is this taking so long to finally snowball into, like, this battle that we know we're gonna see?
Yeah. Like, I figured it out. Like, I know what's going on. So let's get to that point.
Come on. In the body possession stuff, like, I felt like that was just like, I don't know. It was just like, it was like padding. It felt like padding with, like, all of the body switching stuff. I'm like, okay, get to the end of the movie.
Yeah, I don't think that it was really successful with what's her face, Melissa McCarthy. But I was totally okay with Chris Hemsworth. I thought that he did that really well.
Yeah, I think they should have just went.
I realize now that he's a really good actor.
He's really
everything
funny.
that I've seen him in and seen him like across. He's really good.
Yeah, you know, I was surprised too, because I've never seen him in a comedic role.
Right, I haven't either, and he filled it.
He did a good job. He did a good job.
Kudos.
And he's very attractive too.
Super attractive, guys.
Like how what's her name was so obsessed with him was pretty funny.
That was actually really good. Kristen Wiig did a really good job of that. Yeah.
That was
I should work out more.
Yeah, it's funny because he's like,
I should work out more was funny. I really should work out more was kind of like, you've already said
that.
You said that was the thing. They reused things. They burned the jokes out. They killed a lot of stuff.
Well, I liked how the villain, like, he didn't want to be human anymore. He wanted to kill all humans, and then he finally got a body that was like a hot, strong body, and he's like, man, I could have had a hot, strong bod if I worked at it. Then he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a big fucking oogie boogie ghost.
Yeah. Maybe if I didn't just start coloring in books that didn't have pictures in them.
What the fuck? I'm like, is that
that
supposed to be spooky or funny? Or...
No, I think it was supposed to just show that he was demented. Like,
that didn't look demented. That just looked dumb.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, I'm not saying it did look demented. I'm just saying it looked like it was supposed to be like, oh, he is
scrawlings of a madman.
Because it was like supposed to be like slowly descending into madness, but it was really like, I'm writing notes in here. I drew a little picture.
My 12-year-old brother drew some pictures.
Oh my god, I colored the entire book by myself.
I'm crazy. But it really wasn't that crazy.
Oh man. Yeah. So, discrete rating. I know you don't like giving things numbers.
I know. I don't know if I can really give this one a number. I'll give it a verbal rating, a one-word verbal rating, and that's it was okay.
I was gonna say okay. I was like,
it was okay.
It's okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. But it was okay. But it wasn't middle of the ground boring.
It was better. It was better than average. It wasn't boring.
It was better than average.
I was gonna say that we didn't want it to be boring. We didn't want it to be mediocre. We got a little bit better than that. It's just that I think they tried a little hard with the jokes, and it made the first act for me feel kind of just bad.
No, it made me feel very worried.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad it picked up.
It covered for itself. And yeah.
Dude, those proton pistols are so cool.
Yeah.
That was my favorite action scene.
I still don't like the suits. I still don't like the suits with the little chest stripe.
They don't look good.
Yeah, it doesn't look good on anybody.
They don't look good.
Like, just
I don't know what look they're going for.
Just plain. Just if they left it plain.
Just plain.
It'd have been fine.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
No one looked at the Ghostbusters outfits and were like, we need some stripes on that.
Yeah. I mean, it just didn't make sense. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think I might have a crush on Holtz.
Oh yeah, totally. I was gonna tell you that after the film too. I was like, yeah, Holtz, my bro.
Oh man, that's all right. I had a crush on Bill Murray, so it works out, right?
Had.
Okay, I still do.
Yeah. Right.
He's so old. Everyone is so old. Dude, Annie Potts is so old.
Annie Potts, I mean, whatever. I mean,
what
they all...
happened?
Well, do you remember how old we were when that movie came out?
Yeah, but like, Dan Aykroyd doesn't look that bad.
You know how
he's like as old as
Dan Aykroyd looked good. Ernie Hudson looked great.
He did look good.
He looked really fabulous.
I want him to be my like old black man friend. Like, I just want to hang out with him and like smoke cigars and
stuff. This is the part that we cut out?
No. Reel to Reel is uncensored. Spoiler-tastic.
Spoiler-tastic, uncensored.
Trigger. Yeah, I'm happy to say that I'm not fully disappointed.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like the original Ghostbusters, and you feel like taking a big risk, or you not even a big risk, if you feel like taking a risk,
give it a shot.
Go in with somewhat of an open mind. You're not gonna leave the movie being like, oh my god, it's the return of Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
you're not.
No.
But you're gonna be like, those were some pretty awesome parts. Yeah. I had a good time during the middle of that movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the middle, and I could safely say that I didn't, want to go, rabble and get my money back or something from somebody. I was like, okay.
I don't feel like I got ripped off, which is pretty important in the movie.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman.
It's not Batman versus Superman. So,
hey, anything else?
I ain't afraid of no reviews.
I'm still afraid of remakes, but I'm a little less afraid of reboots now.
Hollywood, well, even so, Hollywood. If it's an IP that exists, it's okay.
It's next.
But if it's been a movie in the last 30 years, maybe you shouldn't do it again.
You know what's gonna be next?
What?
I swear to God.
What? Don't scare me.
Back to the Future. Back to the Future
Why?
remake. You know it's coming, dude. You know it's coming.
Why would they do that though? Because it's in the future? Because we just
hit 2015, man.
We just hit 2015.
All right, now we're just being like...
make another movie, I'm okay with that. Make a different movie, that's fine. Don't do the first movie again, or the third movie again, and we don't talk about
they are.
Movie.
They love that money. Just instant money for them. It's just instant money. You just put a familiar name and a familiar story on it.
You're making me like this movie less.
I'm sorry, I'm making
me think of other remakes and reboots.
But compare this one to other remakes and reboots. It's actually pretty decent for a reboot.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Thumb sideways.
Thumb sideways. Going like this.
The old Zangief. I'm gonna give this movie the old Zangief.
But no. Upward,
yeah, it's
like
it's a Zangief leaning up.
Yeah.
It's a lean up Zangief.
An unnatural. It's not like a curve, but it's like I actually moved it up.
That's not gonna start rating movies as like.
Yeah,
with thumb scaling.
Then you might as well add a discrete number. Like that's what this is.
Do you guys like the thumb scale? Because I think we're gonna go with the thumb scale from now on.
Yeah, I mean
upper butts.
And then I can just measure the actual number because 0 to 10, and then I can just give an actual number.
But thumbs are funnier. They're thummier. Have you ever seen Thumb Wars?
I have seen Thumb Wars.
Well, there you go. That's proof, man.
All right, so we did it. We saw it.
We survived.
We survived, and it was okay.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad. I'm not gonna say don't go see it. Like if you don't want to, whatever. But
yeah. But if you're
if you're on the edge of trying to decide to see it,
go to a matinee or some bullshit. Yeah. Go download it. I don't give a fuck. Like, oh no, Sony's gonna come after me.
Ooh,
I'm promoting.
We're scared of Sony.
Freaking. What is it? Go move. Or be moved.
Be moved.
Be moved.
Be moved.
BM. BM.
Good job, Sony. Try to think of what initializations your faces might have.
BM? All right. Well, thanks for watching. Reel to Reel. I don't know what's going to be next. We've
missed two movies that we probably should have watched, which are still out, but I'm not sure if Warcraft is still in theaters anywhere.
Dang, was it that much of a flop?
I don't know. Did you hear anything about it after it? Here,
I heard.
Did you hear anything about it after it came out?
Yeah, I heard meh.
Okay. Did you hear anything about it before it came out?
Yeah.
Well, that was way more than I heard because I heard literally nothing about it before. Or after,
really?
Except for Brandon's mom wanting to go see, or not his mom. Sorry,
Brandon's mom.
His aunt wanting to go see it for some reason.
Aunt. This is just words.
Yeah, no, they are just words. All these things are just words. So why listen to them?
Why listen to us?
And the other being the
Ratchet and Clank. Right?
Oh, we did want to go see Ratchet and Clank, yeah. No, there was something else I wanted to see. I don't even remember what it was. It must have been terrible because I don't remember what it was.
Well, whatever our next movie is, be sure to watch us talk about it.
Yeah.
Because, we're in a car. It's getting kind of hot in here.
It's getting a little warm. It's time to turn the AC on.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace!
What is